Hey guys, warm greetings from a very chilly and rainy Johannesburg. This week's vlog I want to dedicate to the warriors of the Ntetelete Foundation, which was founded by Thokozani and Daba. If you don't know what they do, please, at the end of this vlog, just click on the link and it will direct you to my personal blog where, of course, I talk about what they do and how you can assist more importantly. So last year, October, Thokozani called me and informed me that one of the young warriors, who was 15, was raped by her mother's boyfriend. And of course, hearing such traumatic news sets you on a whirlwind. But when it happens to a young child, it hits another type of a nerve. And so we obviously provided the support, the physical support, the counseling, the court preparation, the police, the social worker, and so forth. And then this week was the hearing of the trial, and this is where he was going to be applying for bail. And the day before the trial, we sat down with the rest of the group just to unpack the issues, because we know we come from generations of where we don't talk about our pain, where we don't talk about these issues. And it was also important to sit with everybody in one room, including the mothers of these young girls, of the foundation, to instill the importance of what solidarity it is and why it's so important. And we sat down and we wrote different placards, and before we wrote on the placards, we spoke about what was plaguing some of the young girls. And one of the main areas and main things that kept on coming up is the question of, well, why has it taken so long for the trial to happen? And as we know, these are one of the major things that we fight in terms of our judicial system, in terms of the police, in terms of evidence, all of these different things. And so, unfortunately, we couldn't give answers. But we put those onto the placards, and then the next day, obviously, picketed outside the courthouse. And then another irritating factor which emerged from the case was that when he was brought out, number one, his attitude to the case was so typical of how we are living in a patriarchal-led society, of this, I'm going to call him a boy because he doesn't deserve to be called a man, came up with this flippant attitude. He didn't believe he needed a legal representation, and then demanded that he should be awarded bail. And of course, we were all taken aback by that. And then it unraveled afterwards with the meeting with the NPA, was that he's already on trial for another rape in which he was granted bail, which, by the way, his mother paid for his bail. So, number one, the point that we need to push and why we talk about these things is that we need to push for no bail for rapists and alleged rapists. Excuse me. Because his first case, and this might not even be his first case, but maybe the first time he got caught, happened in a place called Cosmo City. His mother then paid for his bail. He then left that area, moved to the area where he met the mother of the child, had a relationship, and then proceeded to rape the child. So it's the issue of not providing bail for rapists. The number two, other point, is that why we need to show solidarity with survivors is that when he was arrested, the first thing his mother did was come to the mother of the victim and offer money. And fortunately, the mother is standing in her ground, although she could really do need the money, and she could do with the money, excuse my language. But that is also the reality of what happens in our society. And I needed to point this out, is that as we know we're led in a patriarchal society, we also need to acknowledge and take note that, as Mona Altahawa always puts it, they call them bootleggers of patriarchy, is that also a lot of women push that agenda. So yes, she might be the mother she might be his mother, but at the end of the day, he committed a crime, and she knows he committed a crime because otherwise she wouldn't try and bribe. So, with saying all of this, is that he was denied bail, fortunately. Um, we've put the child through amazing court preparation, which was provided for at the Alexander Court, and I need to commend them for that because the process was incredibly safe. It was comfortable for the child. She's feeling a lot more confident in herself. Granted that he also threatened her life, so she was also skeptical of pushing this trial through because she's fearing for her life and fearing for the life of her mother and her siblings. But in closing, is that we need to keep on showing solidarity for survivors. So follow my links, follow my social media, and if you can, we will post the dates of the trial. And if we can show solidarity by picketing, by hashtagging, by just showing that support and putting pressure on our government and judicial system, because we need to protect our children, we need to protect our women, we need to protect our humans, and keep on pushing these agendas, because this is one case that reached us, and we know that there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, that happen every single day. But we need to have solidarity, not just from the activists and not just from feminists, from people on the ground. And also call out those people who are protecting the perpetrators. So as we have called out this mother, and she knows and the sisters know, and yes, it might be difficult for them, but at the same time, a child's life has been damaged. So I salute the warriors of the Nteteleta Foundation for getting through so much, especially this particular survivor, and to Thokozani for pushing the boundaries on next to nothing. But the fight continues. As I said, follow us on social media. We will hashtag when the case is going to be taking place and so forth. But we need to protect our children more. We need to demand no bail for rapists. We need to show solidarity with victims and survivors. And we need to call out those people who protect the perpetrators. Thanks for watching, guys.